I get this question all the time. How do I consistently climb in rank? Sometimes the answer isn't listening to my tips, it's about recognizing what you already do and how to get better or fix the mistakes you currently make. So you can then apply my tips to that. Here, we're going to go over the most common mistakes I see that cause a lot of you to lose RP and make it more difficult to climb in ranked. So let's begin with the most common reason lower level players and even like diamond level players struggle, and that's to take contest off of drop either with always one or two teams. While at higher levels it is good to have early KP, if you're in the lower level ranks or you're newer to the game, you're probably not going to be able to fight or output the damage needed with any weapon that you maybe land with, especially not a P20 or whatever, and you don't want to leave so much luck to the game. So more times than not, you're probably going to lose that fight, especially if you're solo queuing. So for the most part, I do recommend try and land alone or at least with your team in a building so you guys can at least all loot up and not like land on the same 3 bins with 3 teams, So at least loot up so that then you can maybe take that 3v3, and even if you lose it, you can at least take something away other than just, oh, I landed and didn't get anything and just got rolled, So it at least allows you to learn something and gives you the chance to win that, which again allows you to learn, get better, and allows you to be more consistent with your skill, which allows you to be more consistent in gaining RP by winning fights. So, because all of us know that losing max RP all the time is really not good when you want to be consistent and consistently climb the ranks. And again, it doesn't allow you to really gain much from just getting rolled all the time. But continuing with this, you have to really learn from your mistakes. Something I try and do a lot, and you guys can, check me out live doing this. So if you aren't subscribed, please do it below. And while you're there, like the video, please. But coming back to the topic, you have to learn from your mistakes. This can sound very trivial, but what do I mean? I mean going back to your last game and if possible, like rewatching it. Or just talking about your last game with your team, or just by yourself analyzing kind of, what went wrong or what went right. Was there a specific reason you guys just lost that fight? Was it because the communication was off? Did you guys just get pinched and there was, no way out? Did one of your teammates overextend? These are all good questions to ask after, whether a bad game or a good game. You want to really analyze these ranked matches because you want to take away at least one thing from every single fight that you take or every single match that you play. What decisions were made that led to a win, but also what caused you guys to, maybe lose the match. Because that could be more important, because the next time you find yourself in that situation, you can act differently and your team can grow. The decision making can grow and you just can consistently do better. Because recognizing your mistakes can allow you to then work on them and improve. No one is perfect, but everyone can always work on something. Now let's move on to something that I see also happen, at the lower ranks while team fighting, and that's hyper focusing on a team and not realizing that the fight you're in has gone on too long. And if you watched my last YouTube short about comparing plat versus diamond players, I discussed that there are some players that are or teams that don't understand the concept of disengaging on a bad fight. Just because you see a team doesn't mean you have to fight them. But let's just say you do shoot at them and it's a minute of shooting and poking, but no one really gets an opening. Well, just make the decision and be like, hey, let's just rotate. We're wasting meds, we're wasting ammo, resources on a useless fight that we're not going to get KP off. Why is it okay? Because you're probably never going to actually engage with that team. The only thing that's going to happen is that the longer and longer that goes, you're going to waste resources, and you're probably, either you or the other team is going to get thirded. And it's just going to put you guys in a bad spot. So what you have to learn is when it's okay to take a fight and when it's, a bad time or place to take one. And you should also learn to have that internal timer of how long is a long fight, which also has to take into account what map you're on. And if you're finding these tips useful, there are many more rank tips and guides on my channel, as well as I stream a lot of ranks, so drop a subscribe, I'd appreciate it, and I'd love to see you guys there. And if you guys want to support my channel in a monetary way, my $1 memberships for my channel are active, so click that join button or the link in the description, and you can use my channel emotes wherever you want on YouTube. But continuing on, this is going to be an issue that plagues a lot of diamond level players, and that is doing extremely late rotations or always being in storm, which causes you to rotate late to zone and just be held out by the better positioned teams. In the higher ranks, positioning in the late game and knowing how to rotate is way more important to being consistent. Whether you are a center zone team or an edge fighting team, you have to be able to rotate in your given playstyle, because the worst thing that can happen is that you barely get in, you're 50 HP, you're trying to push in, and you need to heal, and there's just a team that you see sitting there, and in 30 more seconds the next zone goes, and you're dead. That is where you never want to be. So, how do you remedy this? Obviously, don't rotate late. Try and be a little smarter about the timing. Maybe you can craft in Storm, but just try and be a little faster about it and be smarter. Know that and predict that there's going to be a team holding you out, so don't be that late. And while we're sort of on the topic of play styles, what's a part of the play style? That is the team comp or the legends that you're playing. So everyone really needs to have a play style. And that playstyle needs to suit the legends they're playing, whether it's a very aggressive team that just full sends everything, that's still a playstyle. It's being very aggressive. So your playstyle should change depending on what legends you're running. Do you have, a caustic? Well, play the interiors. Do you have very aggressive legends? Probably play edge. You shouldn't also, on an individual level, play Gibraltar like you play Wraith. So learn your team legends, how to maximize their individual abilities and how to get the most of them, whether, bloodhound, as a team, as a duo, you need to learn all those little intricacies so that, you can get everything out of them. Because sometimes, a Bloodhound ult in the right position, a Dome, a Gibraltar bubble in the right position, like those things can saveify and get you KP and allow you to be more consistent. But if you were asking, how do I find my playstyle? Check this video out right here. And also, did I miss any tips? Leave them in the comment section below.